But entrepreneurship is about creating from zero, from nothing, having vision, manifesting your new reality through personal motivation. It's no wonder that like all entrepreneurs and creators, after a while, they're always talking about manifesting and mindset and personal energy and stuff. I mean, do you do work personally like that? Do you do mindset work and do you believe in manifestation? Do you believe in this kind of stuff, like being able
Yeah.
to create reality just through the power of narrative?
Yeah, that's my motivating force. I have a class I do every Saturday called the Mogul Summit, and every once in a while we'll get into that topic. But what I do is I practice a process of no mind. I escape my mind and or blank out my mind to allow the God influx to inspire, basically creating space for inspiration. And then the God influx brings the information to me or the thoughts to me or the creativity to me, right? Um, so that's one thing I like to do is not to be relying upon the intellectual mind or the earthly mind and rely upon intuition and the spiritual mind. Um, so I'm very much in that world and I'm very much into the metaphysics of life. Um, Mm, and I attribute nearly all of my success to that. Like some people say, "Oh, you're really intelligent," and I'm like, "No, I'm not actually that intelligent. I'm just really conscious of myself,
Mm.
right?" Because there's a lot of smart people in this world that are not conscious of themselves. They don't hear themselves when they speak. They don't hear others when they speak because they're so caught up in themselves. You know, um, but me, I try to be conscious of myself and everything around me. And I have several books I'll be publishing um, on that length
Tell
of
me,
mindset.
tell me how do you clear your mind, dude? I relate 100% to this. I knew that we were going to have a lot of things in common, man. Meditation, clearing my mind. I used to describe it as like it feels like inspiration. It feels like something sudden just clicks. I used to describe it as like my brain would be compiling the data, and like
Mm,
I can't sit there and go through the data. I have to
mm,
like take it in, and then I have to just let something back here do its
mm,
thing, or maybe something up here do its thing. But the way you described it was no mind and making space.
mm-hmm,
That's brilliant. How do you do that? I'll tell you how I do it for me. But how do you, like, literally step by step? Like, how do you make space in your
mm-hmm.
mind for the what you call the God influx, which is a tremendous phrase. Love it.
Um, well, basically, the intellectual mind is pretty much just a computer, right? But it can only process one thought at a time. We have thousands of thoughts, but you can only maintain one thought at a time. You know, when people say I'm thinking multiple things at the same time, that's actually not true. You're just having intervals
Mm-hmm.
between combined thoughts. So what you have to do is you actually have to distract the mind. And the best way to distract the mind is to focus on the five senses. So I say if you ever really want to enter a state of no mind or hack your way to no mind, um, eat something really pungent, or go grab some organic honey, take a teaspoon of that, put that in your mouth, and tell me what you're thinking about after that. I bet you're only thinking about that teaspoon of honey. Go get taste a hot chili pepper. I bet the only thing you're thinking about is that hot chili pepper, right? So that's a good way to um, enter a state of no mind, right? The mind cannot think about anything except for that moment. So what I do is I focus on the five senses. So it's actually, I mean, I've gotten to the point now where it's actually easy for me to enter a state of no mind. Um, just not at night when it's time for me to go to sleep.
Sometimes that's the time you need it the most, dude.
Yeah, yeah. But if I need to like enter a state of no mind for inspiration, it's just really easy for me. I just focus on the five senses. Falling asleep is really hard. That takes negative breathing. But if I wanna just enter a state of no mind, I'll turn on some classical music or the deep breathing. And like if you breathe in the air in your house, you actually don't notice a scent. But if you go to somebody else's house, you'll notice a scent. So the trick is try to notice the scent in your house and you'll enter a state of no mind. So I'll try to breathe and like smell what my house smells like, even though I won't smell a thing. But that action alone actually clears the mind.
Everybody watching is sniffing their house right now. What do I smell? What do I smell? You're absolutely right, dude. And
You close your eyes too, because when you keep your eyes open, it's your brain's processing too much shit too. So closing your eyes helps as well.
yeah, that's one thing people don't realize so much is that our tools of perception aren't meant to expand to absorb as much information as possible. They're actually meant to filter information because there's infinite data, and we only have a finite capacity to process and observe. So our perceptive tools are actually collapsing most of the time to block out most of the stuff. And I found, excuse me, the one way. Hold on one sec. I found the one best way for me to enter the similar state like this. Again, exactly right. Engage the five senses, and what I do is I just narrate what I'm observing. I am sitting in this room, I'm feeling warm, my skin feels this, or my hands are on that, or I can hear my breathing. And you just start to describe the environment to yourself that you're in, and you can really bring a centering and a focus. And of course, meditation for me is always just about the breath and just breathing in and breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. But there's other ways too, exercise. There's a reason why walking is so popular and always recommended by great thinkers. Walking, it clears the mind, it focuses you, it allows that influx to come into the God influx, as you said. It's fascinating that across all walks of life, all areas of success, across time and space and geography and civilization and culture, successful people have focused on how to clear your mind.
Yeah.
How to allow for that inspiration to come. And walking has been universal for making that happen. But we've lost that. We don't teach any of that shit. Man, there goes my monetization. We don't teach any of that crap in school.
Yeah.
We don't teach. I mean, they do talk about mindfulness, but it's not exactly what we're talking about here. It's sort of surface level kind of stuff. I remember recently.
A teacher can't teach you what they ain't got.
What they don't know. I know. The other day, my daughter was having a moment, and she was upset. She was hurting. She rose crew, and she was woke up in the middle of the night, and her legs hurt, and she was basically overtrained. Is what it is. Varsity crew, man, they're crushing her. And I'm like, I'm observing her, and I just see her slip. She's distressed, but then I see her just go like 5 times without being prompted. And it was like one of the proudest moments that I had, because if I could just that one tool, man, that one tool will separate you from 90% of the people out there. And you said it, you said it right. People don't have consciousness of self. They don't have consciousness. What a word I've been using lately has been intentionality. Intentionality is the superpower today. It always has been, but even more so today. If you are mindful about your decisions, your actions, your food, your associations, the information you consume, the places that you go, you can do anything in this world. Anything, as long as you're mindful and intentional about it. Because today we are purposefully bombarded with misinformation, disinformation. The whole information space is purposefully polluted. If you bob along the ocean of culture, you will end up in debt, obese, fat, dying, sick, and chained to a desk. That's what happens if you just follow the flow. So to be intentional is to disengage from that and to take another route. Did you have to do a lot of self work to get to this point? Was it something that came naturally?
It was all self work, and you reminded me of something. A lot of these news stories pop up, and I used to consistently say it's a distraction. It's a distraction. And one day somebody asked me, he said, "It's a distraction from what?" And I said, "It's a distraction from yourself." And that's really what this whole game is about. It's about overloading your life with stimuli so you never actually focus on yourself.